Why are you still waiting for someone to notice you, choose you, believe in you? What will it cost you to keep asking for permission to become who you already know you are? This speech will expose every lie you've told yourself about why you haven't built the life you want. It will show you how every delay, every hesitation, every moment of doubt was not imposed by the world, but created by you. You will learn the exact mindset that built fortunes. You will see how men like Ford, Edison, and Carnegie rose, not because someone discovered them, but because they chose themselves first and obeyed that choice daily. When this is finished, you will no longer ask to be seen. You will act as one who cannot be ignored. You will stop drifting. You will stop hesitating. You will choose yourself and finally mean it. Now listen closely. The rest of your life depends on it. Until you choose yourself, you will spend your entire life begging others to notice you, believe in you, call on you, validate you. But life does not reward the one who waits. It rewards the one who declares. No king was crowned by committee. He crowned himself with decision, action, and law. This is what it means to finally choose yourself. You were not sent here to seek approval. You were not born to ask permission. You were not made to drift in the shadows of weaker men's expectations. And yet, that is what you've done. You've waited for someone to pick you. You've hoped the world would eventually see your value. But the world does not see what you will not show, and it does not follow the man who will not command himself. You tell yourself that one day you'll rise, that one day the world will recognize your gifts. But I must speak truth to you now. That day will never come unless you create it. You are the gate. You are the authority. And until you sign your name in fire upon your own soul, your future remains in the hands of others. That is the law. You do not need more time. You do not need more knowledge. You do not need more followers, applause, or encouragement. What you need is to make one final, definite decision. I choose myself now and forever. And from that moment forward, the man who walked in hesitation must die. The reason most men remain poor is not because the opportunity has passed them. It is because they refuse to declare themselves worthy of it. The reason most men remain weak is not because strength is unavailable. It is because they never chose to command it. Do you understand what I'm telling you? The future is not owned by the most talented. It is owned by the most definite, the most committed. The man who moves forward not because the path is clear, but because he refuses to stop. He does not wait for someone to open the door. He builds his own gate and walks through it. That is what it means to choose yourself. Let me ask you now, how many years have you waited? How many seasons have you said, I'll begin when I'm ready? How many times have you asked others to believe in you while you still lived in secret hesitation? That ends now. The greatest prison you'll ever live in is the one where you pretend to be small. The greatest lie you'll ever tell is the one where you say, I'm not ready yet. The man who chooses himself does not ask the world for permission. He declares war on every doubt and backs his words with discipline. This is the speech that begins your freedom. It will not flatter you. It will not soften you. It will not comfort the part of you that wants to stay safe. It will do something better. It will burn away the false you. It will reveal the version of you that is not waiting, not apologizing, not drifting, but building. You are going to hear the truth you've avoided. You are going to hear why you have not become what you know you could be. And you're going to learn what happens, what truly happens, when a man finally decides that he is no longer for sale, no longer on hold, no longer sleeping on his purpose. There are 9 laws I will give you, 9 doors you must walk through. Each one is built on fire. Each one will require that you abandon your excuses, face your reflection, and become the authority in your own life. This is not for the faint of heart, but you did not come this far to stay weak. Write this now. I am the one I've been waiting for. Again, I crown myself through action. Again, my law begins with my decision. Say it aloud. Write it in blood on the page of your discipline.
And now we begin the first law.
You were not born with command. You were not born with clarity, conviction, or power. You were born with potential, but potential is nothing until it is demanded. And the demand must come from you. No man is born chosen. No man arrives into this world with a crown. You must choose to wear it, and then build the head to bear its weight. You keep asking, when will someone see me? When will the world take me seriously? But hear me now, the world does not choose builders. It simply responds to them. It bends for those who bend themselves to a decision. It follows the man who commands himself before anyone else ever does. If you wait to be picked, you will rot in obscurity. Because power is self-bestowed, there is a tragic mistake that most men make. They believe that confidence comes from praise, that leadership comes from popularity, and that clarity comes from consensus. But the truth is far more brutal, far more glorious. All power begins when one man decides to believe in himself, without applause, without approval, and without evidence. When Henry Ford began, no one believed in him. He was ridiculed, mocked, and warned that his idea was foolish. A machine carriage with no horse? Madness, they said. But he did not require their belief because he already had his own. That is the first law of builders. I believe in my mind more than I fear the opinions of others. Ford did not need the world to choose him. He chose himself and backed that choice with tireless effort, definite purpose, and a refusal to turn back. While other men delayed until they were ready, he moved with clarity, forged in defiance. That is why he became the builder of an empire, while the doubters became footnotes. Now I ask you, when will you choose yourself? When will you decide that the delay is no longer dignified, that the uncertainty is no longer acceptable, that the waiting is no longer wise, but cowardice dressed as strategy? Because every moment you hesitate is a moment stolen from your own dominion, and dominion is only given to the man who declares it. There is no path until you build it. There is no calling until you answer it. There is no legacy until you declare yourself worthy of one. Most men live as if they are waiting for some external force to grant them authority. But the truth is, you are the authority. And if you don't declare it, no one else will. To choose yourself is not a feeling. It is a contract. It is a written, signed, dated command, a law you create and obey. And if you have not written it, if you have not declared it, if you have not signed your name under your own definite chief aim, then you are still drifting, still waiting, still lying. Go now and write it. Write your aim, write your law, then beneath that law, sign your name. Not in ink, but in promise, in identity, in fire. Your signature means this: I choose this path even if no one else does. I walk it alone if I must. I obey the vision, not the world. You say you want purpose. You say you want freedom. You say you want to change your life. But you cannot have these things if you do not first choose yourself, not as a passing emotion, but as a binding oath. That oath is not to be broken. That oath is what separates the drifter from the builder, the beggar from the king. Understand this: every great man you admire did not begin great. He began alone, in doubt, in obscurity. But what made him powerful was not applause, it was decision, a private decision that he was no longer available for mediocrity, that he was no longer willing to betray himself for the comfort of others. Think of Abraham Lincoln, mocked and belittled in his early years. He lost more elections than he won. He suffered publicly. He grieved privately. But he still carried the burden of leadership, not because others believed in him, but because he believed in his cause. That is what it means to choose yourself. It is not self-centered. It is soul-centered. It is a man saying, I will carry this, even if I am doubted, even if I am hated, even if I am alone. I will carry this because I must, because I choose it. That is your task now. That is the first law. Do not wait to be appointed. Appoint yourself. Now hear me clearly. From this day forward, If you wait for anyone to give you permission, you have broken the law of self-choice. From this day forward, if you downplay your dream in order to be accepted, you have surrendered your own throne. From this day forward, you speak and act and walk as the one who has already chosen himself. You are not asking to be accepted. You are building a life that makes acceptance irrelevant. You are not waiting to be invited. You are walking through the door with command in your step. You are not begging to be seen. You are living in such obedience to your purpose that your results cannot be ignored. Repeat after me. I no longer wait to be picked. I stand where others hesitate. I write my aim. I sign my name. I begin now. And again, until it enters your bones. I no longer wait to be picked. I stand where others hesitate. I write my aim. I sign my name. I begin now. Now go. And build your aim with such fury that the world forgets it ever doubted you. You are not here to be chosen. You are here to choose yourself. You believe others are the reason you have not begun. You tell yourself you need more support, more encouragement, more recognition, more belief from them. But I tell you now with divine certainty, no man ever receives from others what he has not first given himself. Approval is not granted. It is first claimed in silence. Every time you wait to feel seen, to feel validated, to feel ready, you are betraying the one man who can build your future, yourself. You do not lack favor. You lack decision. You do not lack talent. You lack ownership. And until you give yourself the authority you've been begging others to give, you will walk this earth like a ghost with a golden heart, unrecognized, unused, undone. Let me tell you a truth that will either break your illusion or build your foundation. The world reflects what you radiate. And if you radiate doubt, uncertainty, hesitation, then even your highest potential will be overlooked because you taught others that you are unsure. And no one follows a man unsure of himself. Charles Schwab was not handed his position. He demanded it, not through arrogance, but through belief so consistent it became unshakable. He took responsibility beyond his pay grade. He acted with clarity before he had title. And what followed? Men followed him, because he had already followed himself. You are not invisible because others refuse to see you. You are invisible because you refuse to embody your own standard. You do not rise by being accepted. You rise by being relentlessly obedient to your vision until the results force the world to take notice. Do you see now? Every ounce of attention you crave from others must first be converted into devotion to your own aim. Stop checking for praise. Check your output. Stop waiting for feedback. Measure your execution. Your work is your proof, and no man with proof needs permission. You say you feel rejected, but I ask you, have you accepted yourself yet? Have you stood in front of the mirror, not with shame, not with waiting, but with declaration, and said, I am the man who builds. I am the man who commands. I am the one I've been waiting for. If not, then you are the first one to reject you, and no amount of applause will heal that. It must be reversed by decision, internal, unwavering, daily. You cannot keep asking the world to confirm a belief you refuse to live. This is the law. Identity is not a gift. It is a construct, and it is constructed by repetition. If you do not speak your aim aloud, write your aim daily, execute your aim hourly, then your identity will drift into the hands of the world. And the world will shape you, not into a builder, but a bystander. Let us speak now of your rituals. Do you rise early? Do you recite your aim? Do you move with order? Or do you drift, react, hope, and wait? Because if you do not treat your aim like law, it will never manifest. Your rituals are either building your self-belief or betraying it. Others cannot do this for you. Their encouragement is not fuel. It is a distraction. You do not need more cheerleaders. You need more repetition. Repetition of discipline. Repetition of clarity. repetition of action. That is how the subconscious mind is reprogrammed, from fear to belief, from doubt to dominion. Say this aloud now. My work is my proof. I give myself the approval I once begged for. Again. My work is my proof. I give myself the approval I once begged for. Because that is the true test of self-choice. When no one claps, do you still execute? When no one sees, do you still prepare? When no one believes, do you still act? If the answer is no, then you are still dependent. And dependence is not the soil of transformation. You must learn to walk alone, to build alone, to speak to yourself with power in the absence of applause. That is the training ground of every master. Do you think Edison waited for applause before he lit the world? Do you think Lincoln waited to be encouraged before he rose again after every loss? They trained their minds in solitude. You must do the same. You do not speak to impress others. You speak to program yourself. Speak your aim aloud, daily, even if it feels foolish. Because each repetition builds the man. Each repetition kills the hesitation. Each repetition hardens the voice that once trembled. There will be days when the world ignores you. Let it. There will be hours when even your friends doubt you. Let them. Because what matters is not their view of you, but your view of yourself. And the only way to strengthen that view is through rituals so unbreakable it becomes identity. Write your aim. Say it aloud. Move as if it were law. Then the world will bend to the pattern you command. This is your moment. This is your shift. You no longer live for likes. You live for law. You no longer chase applause. You chase structure. You no longer ask for affirmation. You become affirmation. Now repeat with me. I move as the proof. I no longer ask. I demonstrate. My standard makes me seen. Again. I move as the proof. I no longer ask. I demonstrate. My standard makes me seen. You are not here to be noticed. You are here to be undeniable. And that does not come from the crowd. It comes from you. You say you've chosen yourself. You say you've decided. You say, I'm ready now. But I do not ask for words. I ask for evidence, because many men declare themselves in emotion, but abandon themselves in practice. And that is not self-choice. That is self-betrayal dressed in passion. If you still obey laziness, if you still submit to distraction, if you still choose comfort over clarity, then your self-choice was not a decision. It was a fantasy. True decision is never declared merely in speech. It is demonstrated in obedience. And obedience is the test of every man who has claimed his own throne. Do you rise when you said you would? Do you speak your aim aloud before sunrise? Do you complete what you start, no matter how you feel? If you do not, then you are not yet a builder. You are still a beggar, wearing the crown of a king he has not earned. Thomas Edison did not choose himself in a moment of excitement. He chose himself and proved it 10,000 times in failure. 10,000 experiments, 10,000 trials, 10,000 demonstrations that his oath was real. That is what proves self-choice, unbreakable persistence in the dark. You must understand. Your actions are your signature. Your rituals are your identity. You can declare yourself in a journal, but your calendar will testify against you. Your habits will speak louder than your voice. Your behavior will expose the truth. This is why most men never transform. They confuse inspiration with transformation. They confuse affirmation with law. They confuse I feel ready with I am proven by discipline. But true builders know, I do not act when I feel like it. I act because I said I would. Discipline is the fire that forges the chosen man. Without it, your declaration is hollow. Without it, your identity is weak. Without it, your self-belief is a house with no foundation. And no matter how confident you sound, the storms of life will break you if you are not disciplined. Build your rhythm. Declare your law. Then obey it without delay. Rise before dawn. Speak your aim aloud. Review your plan. Execute without mood. Track your habits like a soldier. Correct with speed. Build through repetition. Repeat that rhythm until you become the man you decided to be. Do not wait to feel powerful. Act with power. Do not wait to feel ready. Act with readiness. Do not wait to feel certain. Act in certainty. Because every time you act in obedience to your aim, you become your aim. There is no substitute for discipline. It is the only proof of belief. If you say you believe in your dream, but your behavior is loose, your time is wasted, your rituals are weak, then you are lying to yourself, and the subconscious mind does not respond to lies. It responds to law. This is why so few ever rise. They hear the principles, they admire the stories, but they do not commit to the daily fire, and without that fire, no man ever becomes who he claims to be. Edison knew this. Carnegie lived this. Ford demanded this, and you must do the same. Let me give you a law. Whatever you repeat with discipline becomes identity. Whatever you delay becomes decay. Whatever you excuse becomes law in your life. And whatever you execute daily becomes your new destiny. You must now remove the softness from your structure. Set your wake time. Set your action hours. Set your targets. Review your plan. Speak your creed. And execute it even when tired, especially when tired, because it is obedience and exhaustion that proves whether you are chosen or pretending. Stop waiting for alignment. Align yourself. Stop waiting for motivation. Move without it. Stop waiting for momentum. Create it. That is what separates the man who has truly chosen himself from the one who merely felt inspired. Say this aloud now. My actions confirm my decision. I follow my own law with military will. Again, my actions confirm my decision. I follow my own law with military will. Let the world be ruled by men of emotion. Let the crowds drift in cycles. Let the dreamers wait for mood. But you are no longer one of them. You have chosen yourself. And that choice must be proven in obedience. You do not need another plan. You need practice. You do not need another affirmation. You need alignment. You do not need more motivation. You need mastery over your time, your attention, your energy. That is discipline. That is power. That is self-choice in action. Now look at your life. Look at your rituals. Look at your calendar. Where is the proof? Where is the structure? Where is the fire? If you cannot see it, build it. And if you can see it, double it. Because every man who masters discipline becomes unstoppable. You will not become the man you admire by dreaming. You will become him by drilling your decisions into daily law. Wake up with intention. Speak your aim like it is sacred. Move like a soldier of destiny. Correct your weaknesses. Remove softness. Build in the dark. That is what the greats did. That is what you must do. Edison, Ford, Carnegie, Hill, they did not become who they were through emotion. They became who they were through repetition of disciplined action, forged in solitude, proven in silence. Now say it once more. My actions confirm my decision. I follow my own law with military will. Discipline is my identity. Obedience is my power. This is your fire. Let it burn. The moment you declare that you are the builder of your life, the king of your direction, the master of your fate, you forfeit the right to blame any man, any woman, any condition, or any moment for what you do not yet possess. The chosen man does not blame. He builds. Blame is the shield of the uncommitted. It is the voice of the drifter. It is the vocabulary of those who never chose with force. For as long as you blame, you are admitting that someone else holds power over you, and the man who gives away power in thought will never possess it in life. Let me make this clear. Until you eliminate all external blame, you have not truly chosen yourself. You are still acting. You are still performing the part of a master. While secretly keeping a door open to excuse, you cannot serve two masters, and blame is the idol of the weak. A man cannot say, I am the commander of my world, and then say, but my results are because of him or her or them. That is spiritual contradiction. That is lawlessness in the soul. And wherever contradiction exists, confusion follows, and power disappears. Abraham Lincoln understood this. He was mocked, doubted, defeated, and despised. But he never pointed the finger outward. He accepted the full burden of the Union as his own, because he had chosen the identity of leader, and he knew that a leader blames no one. When you crown yourself, you sign a contract. That contract reads, from this moment forward, I am the cause of my life. And every result, whether wealth or weakness, glory or failure, is mine to own. If I fail, I correct. If I fall, I rise. If I lack, I build. If I lose, I learn. This is the high cost of self-choice. You will no longer have the comfort of blame. You will no longer have the excuse of environment, the scapegoat of upbringing, or the seduction of sympathy. The world will offer you these comforts, but you must burn them, for they are chains. And if you find yourself clinging to them, blaming your family, your past, your body, your boss, your society, then you have not yet chosen yourself. You have only said you have. And the subconscious mind does not respond to lies. It only obeys truth sealed by action. So I ask you, who are you still blaming? Who do you secretly believe owes you something? What name comes to mind when your goals are delayed? Write it down, face it, and then speak aloud. I am responsible. I remove all blame. Because the man who keeps blame alive, even secretly, builds a future on sand. And when the pressure comes, when the hour of challenge arrives, he will collapse, because the structure of his identity was never forged in full authority. It was still dependent on the faults of others. Your next level is hidden behind the door of responsibility. That is where freedom lives. That is where your full potential awakens. That is where the chains break, not because someone frees you, but because you decide, I am the only builder here. Audit your results. Everyone. The money you have, the strength you carry, the skill you've sharpened or not. Each result is your teacher. It is not punishment. It is measurement. And if the result is not what you want, then change the pattern, not the blame. Say this aloud now. I am the source of my results. I do not blame, I build. Responsibility is my freedom. Again, I am the source of my results. I do not blame, I build. Responsibility is my freedom. Understand this. Blame is emotional slavery, but responsibility is emotional sovereignty. The moment you say, I am the cause, you also become the solution. The moment you say, it's on me, you become free to move, free to correct, free to accelerate. The world is filled with men who blame. Their voices are loud, their excuses are poetic, their reasons are endless, but their results are hollow. Do not join them. Separate yourself. Build your name on law. Speak only what empowers. Stand only on truth. Own every moment. Edison did not blame the darkness. He built the light. Ford did not blame the limitations. He built through them. Carnegie did not blame poverty. He converted it into power. And Hill, when left without answers, created his own. That is what chosen men do. Now look at your life. Look at your decisions. Look at your results. Where have you made excuses? Where have you surrendered your authority? Where have you softened the truth with story? Go there. Face it. And then rewrite it with action. Say it again with full voice. I am the source of my results. I do not blame. I build. Responsibility is my freedom. This is the fourth seal of self-choice. Burn the crutch of blame and walk in your own power. If you have truly chosen yourself, you must now face the next test. And it is not applause. It is not recognition. It is isolation. Because the man who walks in his own law must often walk alone. Power is not born in crowds. It is built in the silence where only your decision can echo. Most men cannot hear themselves because they are surrounded by noise, by opinion, by praise, by distraction. They confuse attention with confirmation and company with strength.